En esta oportunidad nos complace en anunciar la presentación de Glasgow University y nos acompaña su representante, el señor Nick Bruce, a quien le damos la bienvenida. Tomando en cuenta que esta universidad es de habla inglesa, la exposición será en ese idioma. Good morning, Nick. Welcome to our fair.
Good morning.
You can go ahead with your presentation, please. Full screen.
Thank you. I hope everyone can see that, but I'm sure you can let me know if not. So welcome. Yes, thank you for that introduction. My name is Nick Bruce. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the University of Glasgow in Scotland. So you may or may not already know this, but we are very proud to say that we're one of the top 100 universities in the world in the THE World University Rankings. We're also ranked in the top 100 in the QS World Rankings for 2021. We are also very proud to say that we were awarded the UK University of the Year in the THE Awards last year in 2020. We have well over 29,000 students in over 140 different countries, including many countries in Latin America, including Peru. We also have many students from countries like Mexico and Colombia and other countries as well. You may have heard of the Russell Group, which is a group of research-intensive UK universities, a very prestigious group of around 21 institutions, of which we are a part of that group as well. So a degree from a Russell Group university is a slightly more prestigious degree. The Guardian ranks the University of Glasgow at number 12 in their rankings for 2021. So we offer many different subjects, and we're ranked very highly in quite a lot of them. So you can see an overview of our rankings here. I won't take you through all of them, but you can see that we're ranked first for veterinary medicine, as well as dentistry and nursing, as well as sports science and medicine. In the College of Social Sciences, we're ranked first in accounting and finance and education. And we're also ranked first for film and TV and theatre studies. And we're also ranked in the top 5 for languages, for anatomy and nutrition, and for the different engineering disciplines. So we offer civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and aeronautical engineering as well. We also offer electrical and electronic engineering, but we do not offer oil and gas engineering. So we don't offer chemical engineering, but that's the only type of engineering that we don't have. We are very proud of our alumni. Over the years, we've had a lot of notable people come and study with us and graduate. So Adam Smith, if you're an economist, you will know who Adam Smith is. He's the founder of modern economics and the author of The Wealth of Nations. Author of The Wealth of Nations, James Watt, who improved the steam-powered engines, and he was a key figure in the Industrial Revolution. Lord Kelvin, who was the namesake of the Kelvin temperature scale. He was actually a student and an academic here at the university, and his house that he lived in is located on the main campus. John Logie Baird, who was one of the pioneers of TV, so you've got him to thank for your television. Joseph Black, who introduced the modern understanding of gas, and 7 Nobel laureates. Glasgow is located in Scotland, right in the central belt of Scotland. We're about an hour away from Edinburgh. Edinburgh is the capital of Scotland, but Glasgow is the biggest city in Scotland. Scotland is, in fact, voted the most beautiful country in the world. It's been voted that a few times, so once in the Rough Guides in 2019 and a few times before that as well. Glasgow itself is ranked in the top 10 best cities in the world in Time Out magazine. So it's an extremely vibrant city with lots of fun things to do, but I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. We're right in a perfect area for outdoor activities. So you're right on the doorstep of mountain climbing and hill walking, and you can see the background photo here. That's about 45 minutes from the Glasgow's main campus. So you can be at a scene like that within an hour if you're studying with us. Glasgow is also a UNESCO City of Music. So there's lots and lots of live music happening all the time. There's also art galleries, live music, theatre, festivals, comedy, museums, lots of arts and culture going on here in the city of Glasgow. And the architecture is absolutely spectacular as well. There is some incredible architecture in the city centre. The university building itself, it was designed by a chap called George Gilbert Scott, who also designed the municipal buildings in Rome. He's a world famous architect, and he was the grandfather of the designer who designed the quintessential red British phone box. You can find some of those red phone boxes on campus. So it's steeped in history and some incredible architecture. In 2014, Glasgow was the host city of the Commonwealth Games. In 2018, we hosted the European Games. And more recently, we actually hosted the COP26 International Climate Change Conference. This is a bird's eye view of our main building. It's called the Gilbert Scott building. The building right in the middle of the screen is the Gilbert Scott, but the surrounding buildings that you can see in the surrounding area are also university buildings. So the main building, as I mentioned, was designed by George Gilbert Scott in the 1800s. So although the university was founded in 1451, we weren't always located in this building. We've only been in this building since the late 1800s, so relatively recently when you consider how old the university is. The university used to be located somewhere else in Glasgow in the town centre. So the rest of the buildings that you can see here on the bottom right, the green building is the Fraser building, which is where the student services and support teams are located. So we have an international student support team who can help you with visas, registering with a doctor, living in the UK, that kind of advice. There's also a bookshop in there and a doctor's surgery and a cafeteria and a career service and all sorts of different services that you can use as a student with us. Above that is the main library. 13 floors in that library. There are over 2 million books in there, including special collections such as original Shakespeare manuscripts. And there's even a handwritten letter written by Mozart in there. The arrow on the left, just under the University of Glasgow logo, the James McEwan Smith Learning Hub, that red triangle is now a brand new building. So the building is finished and it's open, and it's a state-of-the-art modern learning facility with lots of space for independent studies. There's lecture theatres in there, seminar rooms, tutorial rooms. There's a food court, and it's incredibly modern and well equipped. So it's nice to have a super modern facility like that on the campus, sort of juxtaposed with our ancient architecture. So that's just the first of many new buildings that are going to be coming online within the next few years, as the university is investing over £1 billion building new buildings on and around our campus here. So really exciting stuff. So the subject areas that we cover, arts and humanities and languages. So that's, things like English language, English literature, as well as things like politics and history and stuff like that. We have a very world-renowned business school that I mentioned before, the Adam Smith Business School, which has a really huge and diverse range of postgraduate master's business degrees. We have an MBA, we have business and management, international accounting and financial management, lots of different things, and some quite niche business programs are available in there as well. Our computing science programs are really popular. We've got undergraduate and postgraduate computing science programs. We have undergrad and postgrad education programs, and we all have teacher training programs as well. I already spoke briefly about our engineering programs. So we have undergrad bachelor's of engineering degrees. We also have integrated master's degrees, so 5-year MEng degrees, where you would study the undergrad and the master's degree altogether over 5 years. We also have 1-year MScs in various different engineering disciplines. We have undergraduate and postgraduate law. We also have a medical school. We offer dentistry and nursing as well. Politics and international relations. Psychology is another really popular course. We also have life sciences like human anatomy and nutrition and chemistry and biology and things like that. And we offer vet medicine as well. So the good thing about our medicine and vet medicine degrees as well is that you can study at undergraduate level in those degrees straight from high school if you have the requisite grades. You don't have to do a grad school as you might have to do in the US. So our English language requirements, this might be key information for many of you. I'm just going to check that I haven't skipped a slide. Yes, I did skip a slide. So sorry, bear with me a second. My PowerPoint always does this. So entry requirements. Before we get to language requirements, let's talk about academic entry requirements. A 2-1 honours degree or equivalent. So equivalent means a GPA of at least 3 out of 4. If your GPA is out of 5, it would be at least 4 out of 5. If your GPA is out of 10, 8 out of 10, or 80% out of 100%, or 18 out of 20. So you get the idea. If you're unsure whether you meet the entry requirements, you can either make an application for a full review, or you can contact us and we can check for you. For research programs, you don't necessarily need to have a master's qualification to apply for a PhD. So we will consider your application if you have a 2-1 honours degree or equivalent in a relevant subject. But for some PhDs, you will be asked for a master's qualification, although it's not a prerequisite for all PhDs. And we do require relevant subjects in the majority of cases. So if you're applying for a master's degree in engineering, it's likely that you will have to have a relevant background already in engineering to apply. So those English language requirements, 6.5 overall in the IELTS test is our requirement, with no subtest below 6.0. We do accept other tests as well. We accept TOEFL. We still accept TOEFL at home as well. And we accept these other tests listed. We do not accept Duolingo. We did temporarily accept Duolingo during 2020, but for 2022 entry, we're not accepting Duolingo. So the tuition fees for 2021 and 2022 are listed here. They range from just over £19,000 all the way up to about £29,000 for some business school programs like the MBA is up there at £29,000. So this is for postgraduate master's degrees, these fees. You can also find the tuition fees listed on every single program webpage. So if you're looking at a specific degree program on our website, the fees will be listed there. And so will the entry requirements for English language and all the rest of the relevant information you need. We do offer scholarships. Our applicants are automatically assessed for all of our scholarships, so you do not need to make a separate application for scholarships. If you apply to one of our degrees, you will be automatically considered for a scholarship. We are looking for academic excellence for most of our scholarships, so we're looking for you to be able to demonstrate that you've considerably surpassed our entry requirements. So perhaps if your undergraduate degree was equivalent to a first, or you've just got very strong marks on your transcripts, then you might be shortlisted. If you think that you should be shortlisted for a scholarship and you have an application with us, but you haven't heard anything, then I would encourage you to just get in touch and ask, because we can always check. We have some country-specific scholarships, depending on where you're applying from. Our scholarships are generally up to a maximum of £10,000. The most common scholarship for postgraduate programs is the International Leadership Scholarship, and that one's worth £10,000. So that's the one that's mostly based on academic merit. The other scholarships that we offer are the Chancellor's Award, which is a £5,000 discount. And there are also external scholarships, obviously, that you would have to apply for separately as well. These are ones not administered by us at the university. So that would be Chevening, and they offer full fee scholarships if you're applying to Chevening. And we offer you a 20% discount on your tuition fees if you're a Chevening scholar. There are also government scholarships. We have agreements with Conacyt, as well as Annie and FIDER and FUNED as well. You can find out all this information, and you don't need to take notes or anything because it's all on the website. So if you just head to that URL there, glasgow.ac.uk/scholarships, you can search for scholarships by country and by level, and it gives you all the requisite information there. Living expenses. Glasgow is an affordable city to live in terms of global city affordability. It's also a really affordable city compared to Edinburgh, compared to London, compared to Manchester, Newcastle, those cities. Glasgow is one of the most affordable cities. So it depends on your lifestyle. It depends how much money you spend as a human being. But we generally speaking, just over £1,000 per month British pounds per month should be enough to live on. That includes absolutely everything, your accommodation and your food and clothes, travel, other costs and your bills and going out and things like that as well. So we are the 4th most affordable city in the UK, according to What Uni in 2019. So it's a general guide as to how much you should expect to have to spend. So it works out just over £10,000 to £12,000 per year. So you need to factor that into your overall costs. So for student life, what's it like to be a student with us? We have support for everything that you could possibly need support for. So we have our own accommodation, which I'll talk about in a moment. We have international student support and visas. So I talked about them before, but they can offer you visa advice. They can offer you an airport welcome when you arrive, depending on when you arrive. They offer that at certain times of year. There's an orientation week that they put on, which is for international students to help you settle in. They can also help you open a bank account and just do the kinds of things that you're going to have to do as an international student. And they're there to help you doing that. So you can get in touch with them before you come, and also you can use their assistance while you're here as well. There's a disability service. If you have something that you need help with, if you have additional learning needs or additional mobility needs, they can help you with that. There's a career service, which I would encourage you to use as soon as you arrive. They can help you with mock job interviews. They can help you with resume writing, so they can guide you in writing your resume or your CV. They can let you know about internship opportunities through the internship hub as well. We also offer a student counselling service to help you with your emotional health and well-being while you're here. There are also student-led support services. So the Student Representative Council is run by students, and that can provide advice for absolutely anything: impartial legal advice, advice on finding somewhere to live. They also run the clubs and societies in the university as well. There are 2 student unions on campus, which you can join, which are just places to hang out. And there are 250 different clubs and societies for all sorts of different activities. You name it, there's probably a club for it. DJing club, there's a knitting club, insert hobby here, there's a club for it. So the sports facilities are absolutely brilliant as well. So on the main campus, there's a swimming pool, there's spinning studios, exercise classes, football pitches, and much more. So fully equipped gym available on campus as well. This is a really great resource to use after you've gone away today and had to think about things. It's Ask a Student. So if you head to the URL at the top of the page, /Ask a Student, you can chat live with either staff members, but I think more usefully, you can chat live with students. So people who are here studying with us, and hopefully perhaps you can find somebody from your country, or maybe somebody who's studying the program that you're interested in, and just ask them what it's really like. And that chat is not monitored by any staff member, so you can chat impartially with students and get their take on what it's like to study with us. So I really would encourage you to use that service. It's Ask a Student. That was my last slide. So that email address is for my colleague, Jo Power, who was supposed to be giving this presentation today, but she's in London unexpectedly. So you can still email Jo if you have any questions. My email address, if I have access to the chat, I will share it in the chat, but it's nick.bruce@glasgow.ac.uk as well. So thank you very much for joining me today. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to take them.
Thank you so much, Nick. We have a couple of questions. Why are the most master's degree only 1 year long in the UK?
Why? So they are 12-month intensive programs. They're basically, they're very intensive. You are expected to study up to 40 hours a week. So yes, all UK universities, in fact, probably a lot of US universities as well, generally, your master's degree will be 1 year long. There are a few exceptions where some master's degrees take 2 years to complete. There are very few exceptions, but most UK master's degrees are 1 year in length. That's been the standard for quite a long time. But you should expect quite a high level of rigor and quite a high demand on your time. So I wouldn't recommend coming here with the expectation of being able to work on a full-time job, for example, in addition to doing full-time studies. It is It's quite an intensive year, and it's 12 full months. It's not 9 months like an undergraduate degree. So I hope that somewhat answers your question there.
You just answered the next question.
So does the PhD in music require an MA degree? If by MA degree you mean a master's, then not necessarily. The way that our PhDs work is you can use our Find a Supervisor function on our website. So if you head to our website and search for Find a Supervisor, that is a tool that you can use to reach out to academics within the university. So if you type in music or maybe something more specific into the search box, it will return a list of academics that are here at the university that are interested in your subject areas. You can then email them and say, I would like to do a PhD on, whatever your specific research project is. Is this something that you would be interested in supervising me for? And if they get back to you and say yes, then you would submit your application. And really that's the biggest hurdle to overcome. If you've got a supervisor willing to take you on as their student, and they're interested in your project and they think that you're a suitable candidate, then your application is almost a formality. It's not quite a formality because you still need to meet the English language entry requirements and you still need to demonstrate a sufficient academic background, but you don't necessarily have to have a master's degree. If you've got a strong research proposal and you've found a supervisor willing to take you on, then you're in with a good chance of receiving an offer, but you would need to meet the English language entry requirements as well. So someone else has asked, after graduation from the master's, is it possible to stay there in order to look for a job? So in the UK, we now have the post-study work visa, which enables you to stay on in the UK for a finite amount of time. I think it's a year, or I could be wrong. And that enables. So the post-study work visa is the visa that you would need to do that. I'm just going to check.
They can check in the website.
Yes.
Okay.
2 years is the duration that you're allowed to stay. I was just checking that. So you can stay for 2 years after you graduated on that visa.
Oh, cool. That's great. Well, once again, thank you so much for your participation, Mr. Bruce. And we really look forward to see you in the next fair.
Great. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much.